Hello and welcome to the Faculty Spotlight series of the College of Professional Psychology. I'm Dr. Anna Belmonte, Division Chair for our Forensic Psychology Division. And joining me today is Dr. Erika Liljedahl, our Department Chair for our online campus. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Of course. Let's get started with tell me about what inspired you to pursue a career in psychology.
When thinking about this question, I thought, where was I? I was in a German literature and language program in undergrad, and a friend of mine from high school said, Erica, you might like psychology courses. So I thought, okay, I have gen eds. So I went to a psychology course, and one of the chapters dealt with schizophrenia, and I was really intrigued with the brain and just what brain mechanisms can cause different mental health conditions. I've always been interested in medical and science. I was already in bio courses, chemistry courses, thinking, what do I want to actually do? And I just kept taking psychology courses. And because of my just fascination with learning about the brain and mental health conditions, and I earned a dual degree in psychology and German.
That's awesome. What a transition between the two. That's great information. So tell me, what do you enjoy most about your work now, teaching students, working with students? What's the best part of that?
The best part, hands down, is being a part of their journey in discovering who they are going to become in their careers and seeing that spark that is going to help them make that community difference. And once they find that spark, that's the joy that I get because I'm a part of that whole journey, regardless of how much I've mentored them, I'm a part of it. And that's what I really enjoy because I know then they are going to take that energy to make some good out there in the communities. And that's what we're all doing, right? That being part of that journey is crucial for me.
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly. Um, so what is one skill that you hope every student takes away from a class of yours or
Yeah.
just, your engagement with them?
So being in psychology and counseling, we work with people. We have to be very human focused. The one skill that I think sometimes can be very challenging is perspective taking. We all wear our own glasses. We have our own experiences in life, and we are kind of contained with those experiences. If we learn to kind of get out of our experiences a little and really work hard to not just be in those person's shoes as much as we can, which we can't, but as much as we can, but to really try to take on the perspective, how is it, you know, having a medical disability? How is it, you know, having major depression and having been suicidal? Like, what does that look like, feel like, the sensory parts of that? So, perspective taking to really get into that person's world as much as we can as an outsider will help us kind of ground us in ethical treatment and empathetic treatment of our clients. So I really, I've been thinking about this and that perspective taking, I think is crucial in not just in psychology and counseling, but in the world, in business as well. I'm really hoping that any courses will help lead our students to that better perspective taking.
I agree. And I think with that empathy piece, it really helps
Yeah.
us as clinicians manage the difficulty that is working with sometimes challenging clients in the forensic setting, right?
Oh, absolutely. Is how, some of our students will say, I can't work with this particular population because of their own, biases, their own experiences, and all of that, or discrimination. So I think part of our program is to help them understand the other sides, not just their own unilateral, view of the world and people around them. So I think that's what's really special about our students, to be honest, Dr. Belmonte.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And so, kind of along the same vein, what is a quick piece of advice that you have for students who are entering this field?
So I'd like to say three things actually.
Okay.
Is just continue learning, be green, continue learning. This is an appetizer to your entire career. You are not going to learn everything. It's impossible. We continue to learn. As in our careers, I've been in the field for a while. I continue to learn. I think it's beautiful. And you have to kind of make that part of your own need, like food.
Mhm.
Food, shelter, clothing. You have to make
Mhm.
learning as part of that. You have to keep abreast of the research and clinical practice to be the most ethical clinician possible. Part of that is staying humble,
Mhm.
being humble and culturally sensitive to other people. We have our lenses, and also to just better understand other people and knowing that we don't necessarily have the answer for them.
Mhm.
It's not us imposing our answers on other people. Stay humble, listen to people, and help gain the best perspective for treatment planning with input. We don't know everything, and that's okay. Most of us, at least in this country, come from a Western perspective. That's not the only way. So, staying humble is important. And then the third part is being resilient. Do what you need to do to be resilient. Know thyself, of course, going back to many years of philosophers. However, be resilient and do what you need to do to take care of that. Don't forget self-care. And I mean, you're going to be hearing a lot of different people and a lot of different problems and some real stuff. Even our students deal with a lot of real stuff.
Mhm.
And we all have to be grounded in ourselves and engage in self-care so that we can be there for other people.
Thank you. And my last question for you is, why do you think students should choose the Chicago School for their education?
After thinking about this question, hands down, the faculty, there's something about the faculty that I think is unique compared to other institutions. And it comes with the focus on diversity. If we focus on critical thinking, and we can say faculty elsewhere do that too, but there's something special about the heart that our faculty bring into the classroom. They are dedicated and they want to be there. They don't have to teach at our institution. They want to be here. That's important, and I wanted to recognize that.
I agree. And I think our faculty as practitioners adds to that
Yeah,
specialness
absolutely.
of them and that vigor
Yeah.
that they bring into the classroom because they have all that real world experience and just love to share that with our students.
Absolutely. It's crucial. And it's crucial for me to have different faculty from different backgrounds because
Mhm.
then our students will have a diverse experience with different kinds of faculty, different backgrounds, as well as different clinical experiences. Absolutely. So it's our faculty, their experiences, and they bring that into the classroom. With regard to their practitioner model, we live that. So I believe the faculty are just the core and the heart of why students should come to us.
Agreed. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Dr. Belmonte. It was a pleasure.